I said that I wanted to show you a student example for the Life We Bury essay too. So that's what we're going to take a look at now. We've already read the prompt a couple of times, so I don't really want to do that again. But you can remember it was basically just pick a theme and analyze that theme through the lives of 3 characters, or you could pick one character and talk about them 3 times. So here is my student essay. So you've got their heading. I don't know what that 9 is about, but anyway. So their title, The Responsibility in the Life We Bury essay, you can tell that they are talking about the theme of responsibility in the life we bury. Okay. So they wrote, In the Life We Bury by Alan Eskens, the person who selflessly took on the most out of anyone was Joe. He was a college student that worked very hard for his future and valued others. In the novel, he goes through tough moral situations that put him in conflicting situations, but rather than giving up, he takes on responsibility. Joe takes the responsibility for his family issues, drive for school, and care for others. Okay, so you can see here, right, there's their thesis. Joe takes on responsibility, and the 3 things that they're going to talk about with that are family issues, school, and others. So we're hoping, right, looking for this the second paragraph to talk about how Joe takes responsibility for his family. Okay, the student writes, Growing up, Joe and his brother Jeremy both did not have a caregiver that properly provided for them, leaving him to pick up the slack. Joe and his brother Jeremy grew up with a bipolar alcoholic mother, Kathy. Joe's mother would consistently gamble all the family's money away, essentially causing them to get evicted multiple times, and would both verbally and physically abuse them. At times, even her boyfriend would join in on harassing Jeremy. At Joe's earliest days, he had to take care of Jeremy and work very hard to save up for college. He would have to hide his earnings from his mother so she wouldn't steal and consistently try to manipulate him out of his money. Kathy ended up in jails for DUI with $3,000 bail. With the money he saved for the college tuition, she guilted Joe out of his money in order to pay off her bail. Despite hardship of no support and care, Joe went off to college and successfully put effort into his classes. So you can see there, she talks about Joe's care for Jeremy really is his taking responsibility of his family. She does also mention how Joe ends up having to give some of his paychecks away to his mom and take care of his mom by bailing her out of jail. She transitions nicely into college, right? So her second point is about college. Joe worked very hard to attend college by working through high school and kept the same drive working on one of his assigned essays. While he was juggling his paper, other college work, and dealing with his bipolar mother and brother. Joe continued his work without his family issues bringing him down. He began an interview process for Carl Iverson, who was wrongly convicted of rape and murder of Crystal Hagen, a 14-year-old girl. In this class, each student was assigned to a different person to evaluate. He invested the majority of his time in this project and figures out that Carl was actually wrongfully accused due to the case's lack of effort put into the case. With the help of the next-door neighbor, Lila and Jeremy, after almost near-death experiences, many bad ideas, and the evidence they were provided with, they decipher a code in Crystal Hagen's diary. The code turned out to be evidence they needed to convict Crystal's stepbrother Danny, for the murder. After devoting all of his life and time into his work, he also devoted it into his personal life. Sorry, that's supposed to be in the line above. Okay, so school, right? He's invested in school. He works to pay his tuition. He completes his assignments, even with everything else that's going on. Those are things she talks about in the second paragraph there. So remember, the third point was taking care of others. So that's what we expect to see in the fourth paragraph here. Even though Joe saved up for college and worked hard, he selflessly gave up his academic career to help his brother and solve Carl's case. Long after the long investigation, they finally cleared Carl's name before he passed away from cancer. Also, Jeremy took it upon himself to take responsibility. That should be Joe. Took it upon himself to take responsibility for his brother. Kathy would constantly leave Jeremy, Joe's autistic brother, alone because in her eyes she thought it would be okay to go out and get drunk with her boyfriend because Jeremy was 18. However, due to Jeremy's special needs, he needed a caregiver at all times. This forced Joe to withdraw from the University of Minnesota and take custody over his brother. However, in the end, Joe thankfully got rewards for solving the crime. Okay, so in this one, she talks about Jeremy again, which really she talked about in the first point. So we don't want to see that kind of repetition in there. These should be distinct points, right? We had family first, and then we want to see care for others not related to family, which he does talk about Carl in there and how he got Carl out and exonerated. So that was good, but we don't really want to see Jeremy in there. Ultimately, it is important to take responsibility in life and keep moving forward through hardships because it positively affects not only yourself but others too. Even with the difficulty of family issues, drive for school, and care for others, nothing comes easy in life. One must take responsibility for shortcomings and work hard in life rather than giving up. Okay, so we got summarize what we just said and then end with a final thought. So good job there on that. Conclusion paragraph. So you can see the majority of the rubric is about organization and structure. So if your organization and structure is good, right, you'll do well on this essay. And this is a B essay. Even though you saw there were several grammar errors in here, the structure and organization is good, so they got a low B. They did get a couple of points off for having Jeremy in the last point. But other than that, really good. So I just kind of wanted you to see what your fellow students are producing. So hopefully that encourages you and gives you just some idea of how to move forward in this essay. Anyway, good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.